we're not.
There we go.
We're live. Hey!
Hey! Welcome to the Ninjaverse catch-up show because this is a combo universe because we haven't been on in a couple weeks.
And Will bought a new computer. Apparently, he thought Commodore 64 was something new. And
I think it was a VIC-20, actually.
Listen, everybody has those times in their life where they make horrible mistakes.
His was going back to Windows 8 and saying, "Oh, I felt bad for it." So
he felt bad for it, like it had feelings and a soul.
I felt bad because I purchased it, and I felt bad for myself that I wasted money on it. That if I don't use it, I'm wasting money.
I eat because I'm unhappy. Because I'm unhappy because I eat.
Oh, well, I'm Will.
I'm Chris.
I'm Mike.
I'm JD running Windows 7.
I'm running Windows 7 now. Shut up.
I'm running whatever is on the computer that I just bought from the store.
Which is probably Windows 8.
Which two of us are probably running and have had no trouble with. I think it's operator error.
No, I think it's Windows.
There's a poor craftsman who blames his tools.
Well, I'm not blaming my tools. I'm blaming fucking Windows. My tools
the
work
tool.
fine. My tools put that shit together.
No, you're a tool.
Very cool. All right, so we've all been off the last couple of weeks. So we've been traveling. We went to cons. We had computer problems.
Birthdays.
Anniversaries and weddings and bar mitzvahs and
A lot of shit. So really, this week we're just gonna bullshit. There's some little bit of news we're gonna talk about.
Sex change in there somewhere.
What was that?
I'm pretty sure Will had a sex change operation.
No,
in
I'm
there
good.
somewhere.
No.
One member of the Ninjaverse podcast network was in a dress, apparently.
I saw that.
Huh?
Was I in a dress?
You weren't in the dress. I wasn't in a dress. Will
Nice.
might have been in a dress.
Chris Jensen, author, appeared in a kilt at Chiller Theater.
Oh yeah, you went to Chiller. Tell us about Chiller.
Well,
What is Chiller, by the way?
historically,
Yeah, JD doesn't know what Chiller is.
Chiller Theater is a big convention out here on the East Coast. It gets as much interest as like a New York convention, but they have it in Jersey. They used to have it right outside Giant Stadium in East Rutherford. They've since moved it to Parsippany. It's bounced around over the past 20 years. And it grew out of the old Chiller Theater TV show, which was a horror host show in the 60s and 70s, and I guess up into the 80s.
Wasn't it on WWOR?
Yes.
It was on WPIX.
WPIX.
Oh,
Yeah,
old
Channel
Channel 11.
Channel 11.
Channel 11,
Now the CW,
out here in New York.
home of the pretty people.
They still call themselves PIX now.
Just white people.
A lot.
Yeah.
And they've dug up a lot of the old PIX stuff. They'll still show you Honeymooners and
And the Yule log.
the Yule Log. But it was, it was always good for seeing a Godzilla movie, Kung Fu Theater, that type of stuff. And at night they had Chiller Theater, where Zachary hosted a horror movie. And Zachary did his little comedy bits, kind of half creepy, half fun, and he fell into this. He kind of became this icon, this teen, icon for teens. But he's just a creepy old vampire-looking guy in a suit. But he sang, and he kind of became this punk rock television guy.
Okay.
So based on the strength of that show, they started a convention in the early 90s. They dig up old TV people, old horror people. The very first one I went to, I met Adam West, Frank Gorshin, and Grandpa Al Lewis.
Nice.
Adam West.
Adam West, and this was Adam West at that weird lull. This is like 90s Adam West, where Adam West, if you had like $62, he would come to your house.
Oh, wow. That's
This
Adam
is
West.
well
hot up from
before the Family Guy Adam West revival.
Nice.
This was even like before Adam West was like showing up doing a voice on whatever Batman cartoon happened to be on at the time.
Yeah, wasn't he the Gray Ghost?
Yes.
He did. He made an appearance on like every Batman series, pretty much. That's at some point, but this is kind of before all that. This is when Adam West was like making an appearance on the USA Network's Zorro television show,
Oh, good lord.
like doing those type of things.
Yeah, right between Thunder and Paradise. And
I think this predated
And
Thunder in
Dance Club
Paradise,
USA.
oh my god.
but back in the day. So I've been going to Chiller a long time, and Chiller's a great big convention. They have your D-list people, your kind of washed up people. They get a great mix of musicians, horror people, TV people, TV people in general. I've met a lot of people from a lot of different areas from the thing. Gary Coleman, a lot of people from Walking Dead, Lita Ford, Alice Cooper, some of the guys from Kiss come. You get a good mix. The Ramones were always involved in it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a lot of fun. I years ago I met Norman Reedus there, first season of Walking Dead. And
Before he blew up.
The Boondock Saints picture that if you're watching us on video, that's who's pointing guns at the back of my head. That's Boondock Saints.
Nice.
But Norman Reedus signed that for me, and I didn't have him sign a Walking Dead thing because I thought that show might not catch on.
Whoops.
Which brings me to current day.
Yes, how is it this year?
Well, you know when the Beatles had to stop playing live concerts because all it was just girls coming and screaming?
Yeah.
And then coming the other way. That's kind of what a Norman Reedus convention appearance has turned into.
Wow.
There was a gigantic line of teenage girls and housewives that showed up. A huge line of not con people.
He's like a patron saint of Tuckerton. Everybody in Tuckerton wants to be Norman Reedus.
Oh, it really is like he's in a world of white trash television. They have a king, and it is Daryl Dixon.
Yes. Yes.
But I have to say this. I have nothing against Norman Reedus. I love the guy. He's great to the fans. He's great to people. But it was a little disheartening. You know, so many people showed up, and they weren't used to the experience. And I think they were the convention themselves were a little overwhelmed with the amount of people that showed up. The fire marshal at one point threatened to shut the whole show down because there were so many people there.
Oh, shit.
Because not only they had Norman Reedus and John Berthnall were there.
Okay.
From Walking Dead. A bunch of the members of Sons of Anarchy were there. So you had two very popular shows there at once.
This sounds like a very moist convention.
There was a lot of...
Sons of Anarchy minus Katie Seagal, who bailed out on them again.
Yeah, Katie Seagal apparently pissed off the Chiller people. This is the second time she canceled Chiller week of the convention.
Damn it, Peg Bundy.
I honestly will give her the benefit of the doubt and think the last time that she canceled week of was the week of the hurricane, where a couple people canceled and people left early, and it was a whole huge disaster. It was a weird weekend.
Play like the champion.
I got stuck at Chiller for a hurricane, and the year before I got stuck there for a blizzard on Halloween.
Fantastic.
Literally Chiller.
Yes, exactly. But Norman Reedus' line went all the way out of the hotel into the parking lot and weaved through the parking lot in between the cars.
Jesus.
It's fucking ridiculous.
People waited in line between 4 to 6 hours. Because he was also leaving to do photo ops. There was a photo op line. There was the autograph line. And he's being nice to people. He was taking pictures with people in line after they said he wasn't gonna.
That's fan service right there. If he doesn't, people would look highly bad at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cooler to people. You know, he's always throwing his arm around somebody for a picture. He's always talkative. I wound up meeting up with some guys. There's a really cool guys. I want to say their company was called NJ Vape. They're a vaporizer.
Okay.
The smoking vaporizers.
Yeah. Everybody looks like they got like the fucking caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, exactly. From Alice in Wonderland. So these guys had it, and they were pretty cool. And I tried it a little bit. I'm not a smoker, but I was interested in just some of the flavored ones. I didn't do the excuse me. I didn't do the tobaccos, but I did some of the fruity ones, and it's an interesting sensation. I don't know if I was a smoker, I could definitely see that it's something to preoccupy you if you have that habit of being a smoker. But Norman Reedus, being a smoker, was looking for the vape guys, so they hooked him up with a bunch of stuff, pretty much just to get a Norman Reedus plug.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mention us on Twitter, like us on, So Norman Reedus tossed them an endorsement, and they hooked him up with a bunch of stuff.
And now they have 3 million followers.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's what we need to do, guys. We need to start selling crack.
Yeah.
And then all the actors will start coming to us.
Well, if I had some cocaine on me, Billy Baldwin would have been a huge fan of us years ago.
So would Robert Downey Jr. And we probably get limousine rides too.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I don't know, JD, if you've ever heard this story. I've probably told it on the show before, and this isn't an alleged thing. This did happen. I was at Chiller. We were hanging out one night, and Billy Baldwin. Wait, am I? No,
Wait,
I'm lying. I'm sorry. I'm getting my Baldwins wrong. It wasn't Billy Baldwin. It was Adam Baldwin. Sorry, Billy Baldwin.
One of the Baldwins.
Crackhead brother that wanted to buy cocaine from me.
Allegedly.
At least
Not allegedly. He came up and was like,
Allegedly.
"Do you think you can get some cocaine?"
at least he did it proper. At least he wasn't like, hey man, you look like the guy that does cocaine. You got any cocaine?
Well, first he did it. The first guy he asked was the only black guy that he could find there. And then the black guy said, Billy Baldwin's going to come over here and ask us about cocaine. Play along. So I just stuck with it, and Billy Baldwin. I was still switching to Billy Baldwin. Adam Baldwin? No, Adam Baldwin. Danny Baldwin. Who's the fuck?
Yeah, I was going to say Danny
Danny
Baldwin. Daniel Baldwin. A shitload of Baldwins.
Four?
It's Daniel Baldwin.
Alec, Adam,
Billy Baldwin, Stephen Baldwin,
Jermaine Baldwin,
Jermaine Baldwin,
Tito Baldwin,
Janet Baldwin,
Latoya Baldwin, Huey Baldwin,
I think you're referring to Daniel Baldwin.
Eddie Van Baldwin.
I apologize, Billy Baldwin, and Adam Baldwin is not a Baldwin brother.
I'm sorry, all the Canadian Baldwins.
Yes.
We love maple syrup and hockey.
Yes.
We do, actually. Oh,
But for the most part, aside from Chiller being packed with non-con people who you could tell it was a weird crowd when somebody walks by and go, wow, there's a lot of geeky stuff here.
Where the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
You are at the epicenter, the center of the tornado of geekness.
I was like going to PAX and saying, there's a lot of games here.
Yeah, it was. There were people that were out of place. I got into an argument with a guy waiting in a line, you know, and I love being at those cons. And you guys, you know, we've been to cons, and you fit. It's like going home because you're with people, you're making friends, you're meeting people, you have a good time.
That's how AmazeCon was a couple weeks ago, where we were just like the two of us were home.
Yeah.
It was, you know.
And you could tell with dealing with these other people that they had this like entitlement and they were looking down on people.
What?
Because they wanted to get people from their TV show. I felt like one of those punk rock guys that when your band gets popular, you're like, oh man, this is so much better before they sold out. But I don't want to say the show sold out because this is what Chiller does. They get.
So you're a hipster ChillerCon goer, is what you mean.
I hate to say that, but
I liked Chiller before everyone knew about it.
yes.
I should have said I was going to Chiller before it was cool, and then that's a double pun and thunder right there. Anyway.
It's never been cool. It's always been about being a big nerd. I met David Faustino of Married with Children fame.
Oh, okay.
Bud Bundy, who is nice as nice could be.
That dude's cool as hell. I've heard nothing but good things. He does a lot of I say PR, but he does a lot of whatchamacallit, charity work now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't even know that. We talked with him at the autograph table, and then we wound up riding the elevator with him briefly. And he was really nice. I've been on some of these cons where celebrities don't even want to get on elevators with common people. But David Faustino was cool. He's like, oh shit, I might have lost my phone.
Probably.
Yeah, he was having that type of
lost it, or someone just yanked it.
But David Faustino is 6.5 inches tall.
Oh, great.
On lifts.
John Berthenol, who I've seen do a bunch of these shows, and I haven't had the opportunity to get him. I finally got him to sign my Walking Dead poster. He's a great dude, and he is a big, muscled-up guy. Some people saw the pictures, and I was like, was that a wrestler?
No, he is a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big, creepy dude. well, not creepy, but he has that imposing look. I could definitely see him getting a superhero part or a supervillain part some point down the road.
Yeah.
I actually thought
Becoming
you
an
were
action
gonna.
star.
I actually thought you were gonna go with.
Acting chops.
I thought you were gonna go with. I could definitely see him in in an alleyway trying to rob me.
He did kind of, he did look like he could kick somebody's ass.
Maybe he could be Casey Jones in the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Shut up!
Shut
I
up!
could throw shit at you.
I'm gonna hang up off this fucking podcast.
Don't make me
drive
turn
back
this-
to New Jersey, punch you in the throat, drive back, and get back on the podcast.
Don't make me turn this
I think if
podcast
he would
around.
Show up, he wouldn't be wearing a hockey mask. He would be wearing some popular sport. He would be wearing a basketball jersey. And,
Basketball jersey
Fuck
and a
my
football helmet.
ass.
and he wouldn't hit people with random objects. He would have
Golf clubs.
no, because he did hit people with golf clubs.
Oh.
He would have
No, it's a Michael Bay film. He hit people with sticks of dynamite. That's what would happen.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
he'd have
No,
a gun that
we're not
shot
fucking
dynamite.
into this. What's wrong with you?
No, a gun that didn't even shoot dynamite. A gun that just shot explosions.
It's just it's short range flares. Is that what's going on?
I'm done.
I,
I'm done because I can see this in a fucking Michael Bay fucking movie.
I'm not even sure that anything comes out, but just some cool energy plasma-y thing comes shooting past, and then whatever he hits just explodes.
And then Megan Fox runs by in a white outfit, with, dodging explosions and shit.
No. It's a gun that creates heroes. This is how the movie starts. he packs it with these mutagen bullets, and he's like, "I'm gonna shoot you, Orokosaki," and misses and hits the fucking turtles.
That's right.
That's how it's gonna happen. And then M. Night Shyamalan is gonna come along, and they're gonna be in a town from the 1980s and gonna eat pizza and listen to hip hop all 10 years, and all of a sudden they're teenagers, and it's
Yep.
happening in the 90s. Boom.
There you go. We just saved you $11 going to the movie theater. Well, since we're on the subject of turtles,
Chris's head is hemorrhaging. Look at it. It's
I
like
see it.
caving in.
There's blood. I think it's coming out of his ear right over there.
It's just a movie. You don't have to go see it.
No, but we do.
No, we don't have to go see it because it's one of those things that once you see it, it can't be unseen.
You should definitely picket the front of the theater.
It's just gonna be me, just
no, it's gotta
I'm gonna be the fucking Westboro Baptist Church of fucking moviegoers. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, on the sign you have to have Michael Bay in that douchebag fur coat
With the furry jacket.
with the sign for it.
And on the opposite side it says Hail Hydra.
Yes.
Or Vanilla Ice for life.
I just hope
word to your
whatever they do with the movie, they take the personalities and the characterizations of the turtles and make it extremely stereotypical.
Oh,
It
funny you should say that. Well, apparently there's a new Ninja Turtles trailer that Chris refused to watch.
I will not watch it, but I saw pictures.
We did see pictures. Now let's go one by one here. The first picture is Michelangelo. As you know, he's the radical surfer dude. He's got the shell necklace. What is that? Puka shells?
Puka shell necklace.
Okay, puka shell necklace. All right, fine.
Okay, that's cool.
He's the most
How does
normal
that
looking.
happen?
What?
They live in New York. How does that happen?
Listen, all the sewers
That's New
connect to
York.
the
You can
ocean.
buy anything.
We learned that from Finding Nemo. All sewers connect to the ocean.
True.
Okay. So eventually, maybe a surfer lost a puka shell necklace, and he found it. Next is Donatello, because he, of course, like Mike was saying, the stereotypical nerd.
And the pictures that I saw, he looks like fucking Jar Jar Binks.
No.
One picture, he really does look like Jar Jar.
He does look like
The terminology in nerd has been twisted through the last couple of years. He looks like a dweeb.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fairer assessment. He's got. Let's see. He's very busy.
Well, not only wait. Let me just pick this apart. He is very busy with the techno pack and stuff, which is if he has it on for a little bit in the movie, I could kind of live with it. But if he's wearing it the whole movie, how are you a ninja if you're gonna clunk around with all this stuff?
He's got I'm looking at this picture again where he looks like Jar Jar Binks.
Yes.
It looks like he has Johnny Five on his back.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like the ecto goggles from Ghostbusters.
He's got my headset on.
He's got the headsets we're wearing on, and he's got like a 1992 Nokia cell phone attached to it.
Yeah, and there's an old security camera, and there's...
You didn't see that?
No.
Lower right-hand corner.
Over his left shoulder, there's a cell phone strapped to his back.
Oh shit! He stole that shit from Murtaugh in Lethal Weapon.
He totally did. The next picture is the one that upsets me the most.
He's mad.
He has teeth.
He does have teeth.
Like human teeth.
Yes. Like he's gonna eat you in your sleep.
I cannot see it.
And he's wearing glasses.
I have a feeling these are actual
tortoise shell glasses.
Tortoise shell glasses, yes.
Oh,
that are taped together in the middle, Revenge of the Nerds style.
He's the most offensive out of the turtles, I think.
It was if he was in blackface, it might.
Because Raphael and Leonardo actually don't look terrible.
Yeah, they look pretty bad. It looks like Raphael has breasts.
I think that's just the angle they shot it at.
Probably just the angle, but
maybe that's Venus de Milo.
He's a muscled up, jacked up guy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Venus de Milo.
I really hope that they portrayed Leonardo as like Cyclops in all the movies.
Well, here's the thing, though. Leonardo's voice is now Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, for the love of fucking...
Oh, wait, yeah, tell that story, because I don't know if those two guys know about that.
This came out a couple weeks ago while we were in our little...
We talked about this.
Did we? Well, no, what happened was we had talked about the Johnny Knoxville replacement. But a couple days later, the guy who's the voice of Splinter, who the actor's name escapes me, but he was Kramer's friend on Seinfeld, the little person, we'll say. He's doing all the motion capture for Splinter, and he's the voice of Splinter in the Nintendo DS game. But they replaced his voice with Tony Shalhoub in the movie, and he had no idea.
Danny Woodburn, because I had it in my notes from like 2 weeks ago.
There you go. So they're replacing voice actors and apparently not telling the people that are actually acting the parts. I don't know.
That happens. If for some people, the motion capture suits, like David Prowse was always under the impression that he was going to be doing the voice of Darth Vader throughout the course of the first movie. And like Anthony Daniels read the lines, but he was supposed to be voiced over by Richard Dreyfuss.
Really?
Well, that would have been a
voiceover work changes through time. I could kind of that I can accept. That they can listen to a voice, be like, it doesn't work. Let's get somebody with a different sound. Oh, a different attitude. I want to get a different performance out of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tony Shalhoub is an underused guy.
Yeah.
In television and film. Because you think about it, with Wings, he started as a character with an accent. Then he did Monk. He had the Men in Black. He's in all three Men in Black movies as the shop owner.
Yeah, the shop owner.
And people don't necessarily connect that. He's a versatile guy. So I'm not that upset that they replaced, that they put Tony Shalhoub in there to do the part.
I mean, I understand getting a bigger name for the voice. I totally get that. But even, I think on Daniel Woodburn's Twitter, he's like, we weren't aware of this. My lawyers are looking into it. Because he already had done the voice work for certain projects that they were doing that are tied into the movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of money that he's stemmed to lose if they're not using his voice.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure motion capture work pays a lot less than voiceover work.
Mm-hmm.
And once however his contract's structured, whatever royalties he's going to get.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I mean, this Ninja Turtle movie, I think this might be as big a crap fest as some other big name movies that might be coming out next year. Batman.
I still have faith in Batman.
I do, but it's dwindling. It's dwindling quickly. Now that they announced that after Super Friends Forever is going to be the official Justice League movie, it's kind of feeling like Batman Superman's an afterthought. Like it's just going to be a 2.5-hour trailer for Justice League.
Yeah, that's what I just don't.
Well, they're trying to slam together the structure that Marvel did over the course of 5 or 6 years.
In reverse.
Well, not in reverse.
No, it's all those.
5.
Yeah, it's all the Marvel movies that they did, all combined into one, and then the official, Super Best Friends movie comes out.
That's really what they should just call it. Don't call it Batman vs Superman. Just call it Super Best Friends.
Now, I read some stuff. I'm getting a little off. It's in the same vein.
Okay.
But when I read the article and I was a little confused. I didn't quite understand. The end of Spider-Man 2 has the X-Men in it?
Okay. Yeah, let's clarify. The after credit sequence apparently for Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, doesn't have the X-Men in it.
It's just a scene from the X-Men?
A trailer or something from Days of Future Past.
That's what I thought they were talking about, but articles on the internet can be so poorly written sometimes because they generate a headline and a picture and a couple of stinger lines to get you to click on their link and read shit that isn't necessarily true to make you think that Mystique has a cameo in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, anybody with a computer, can kind of get on the internet and, voice their opinions about things.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. You do have an opinion, and I respect you for it, but you're wrong.
Yeah, so apparently the after Spider-Man, there's going to be a small scene from Days of Future Past, which everybody's like, oh my god, Fox and Sony are teaming up to go against Marvel Studios.
And I think it had something to do with whoever's directing.
Yeah,
it was a Mark Webb thing.
Mark Webb was supposed to be doing another Sony movie altogether. Yeah, it was supposed to be another Sony. We're going to do another Fox movie after 500 Days of Summer.
Yes.
And he went on and for him to actually do the Spider-Man movie, they said that you have to, give us a little airtime in your movie to play hand in hand, and we'll let you go.
Yeah.
So
that's basically the deal there.
And
now,
it's like, yeah.
If Fox and Sony could work something out and get those properties all together in something, it would be kind of cool.
Oh my god, it would be like that old video game, Spider-Man and X-Men and Arcade's Revenge.
Yeah.
God, that game was so hard and
it was so hard. The Gambit levels were stupid.
the game was so busted.
That was a tough game.
But it was a Spider-Man and X-Men game, and at that time, that's all we cared about.
And Arcade was such a lame villain.
Because anything that had X-Men on it was just they were printing money.
Yep.
Especially X-Men 2, Clone Wars?
Yes, Clone Wars.
Was that the Genesis one?
Yeah. That game was magical.
Yeah,
that was well done.
Actually, I think it was Revenge of the Sith, but you know what?
Oh.
X-Men 2 Revenge of the Sith.
Out of that 90s time period, I always liked Spider-Man Maximum Carnage.
Yep.
Yes. I had the Green Jelly soundtrack on there, too.
Yes.
I just introduced my kids to Green Jelly the other day.
Nice.
Because I was doing...
I remember when Green Jelly sold out.
They sold out.
Because I was
legally changed their name because they got sued by the Jello Corporation.
Yeah. Because I was doing a Spotify playlist for when I stream on twitch.tv/half-assed-ninja. And...
You have too much technology. Unplug just a little bit.
I can't. I'm jacked in.
He needs to be on Windows 7 just to...
That's why I'm on Windows 7, because I'm on too many things. But I was doing a playlist, and I'm like, oh my god, Green Jelly. So my kids are like, what's that? And I played Three Little Pigs. They're like, this is horrifying. And then Harley's like, I want this for my ringtone.
Your kids have no taste.
Oh, no, Harley liked it. Tori was a little freaked out.
Of course she was, because she's freaked out by going like Action Park.
Yes. For any
Action
of our
Park and hashtags.
For any of our New York, New Jersey, tri-state area Toyota dealer listeners.
He's stupid.
Oh, and you remember.
Yes, I do.
Action Park is reopening its doors this summer.
As Action Park.
Well, it's rebranded again as Action Park. It's been open. It's just
it's been Mountain Creek.
Ownership has changed again, and they've gone back to the Action Park name.
And they're building
Check out the Action Park documentary on YouTube.
Yes.
It's 2 parts. I think altogether it's 16 minutes, if that.
Something like that. But they are actually, they said we have so much nostalgia going on that they just rebranded it Action Park. The suspect thing was they announced it on April 1st. So everybody thought it was a joke, but then it's not.
It's not.
But they are building a new version of the looping water slide.
And
That's supposed to
there
work.
has been found footage, like
Yes.
Blair Witch style.
I saw
Found footage. I know, I posted it online.
Yes.
Found footage of people actually riding the looping slide.
For the hour it was open.
And I told your kids that we were taking them on it, and they said no.
They were terrified.
And then I hashtagged the
I
hell out of
always
it.
wanted that to be open when I was there because I knew nothing about physics when I was a little kid.
I still know nothing about physics.
The only thing we learned about physics was in Looney Tune cartoons.
Nope.
That if you, as long as you don't look down, you will never fall.
Yeah, don't stop running and look down. Just keep
Yeah.
running, and you'll make it across.
I tried that. It doesn't work.
That and if you build an intricate device for trapping somebody, you have to have that music that goes dun 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 dun.
And if you build shit like this, like just start piling shit, it won't fall apart until you get to the top.
Yeah, so once you're standing on the top.
And there's always pills for something.
Yes. But yes.
Get off of
But Action Park opening up this summer.
We're trying to pack a lot in.
We are going to do a Ninjaverse field trip to Action Park this summer at some point.
Oh, we totally.
I will be the last surviving Ninjaverse member after that day.
I will die. I know I will die.
My kids are like, people have died there. I'm like, they died.
You
should died of there.
You should totally troll your kids. Tell them that you're going to get Slurpees or something, and then just start driving to Action Park.
I'm going to say we're going to Great Adventure.
I don't know if I mentioned this, and stop me if I did, but once at Action Park, they literally let me beat Chris Jensen author with a stick repeatedly as an attraction at Action Park.
All right, I've never heard this story,
That's
and it needs to be told.
It does need to be told.
All right, they had an American Gladiator experience at Action Park.
Oh,
I like
shit.
where this is going
This is
already,
fucking gold.
and it explains the kilt.
And one of those things they had was a pugil stick competition. And we had like all taken the day off of work. There was like 4 or 5 of us, maybe 6 people. We all piled into Chris's van. We drove up to Action Park. We might have been slightly inebriated at some point.
Slightly?
No, nobody that worked there was either.
And there's the pugil stick thing. And I had wanted to do that my whole life. American Gladiators, I wanted to be in the big metal ball, hamster ball.
Yes.
And I wanted to do pugil sticks. So they put you on a platform, but you're only like a foot up in the air, and there's mats all around you. And it was best 2 out of 3. And I beat Chris twice in a row, and there was nobody else waiting in line because it was like a Wednesday morning. People were working. Nobody was there. But like, you can keep going.
Just keep beating the shit out of Chris.
7 times in a row, I
Oh my
bludgeoned him with a pugil stick.
Nice.
That's fucking awesome.
I probably beat him into a concussion.
That explains a lot.
That's awesome.
And then going back to Chiller, his appearance
In a kilt.
in a kilt with the poisonous pinup groups that he's associated himself with now.
Is that which he won the? We talked about. He won
Yes,
the.
he won the
pinup-
pinup
he won the pinup contest.
at AmazeCon, and now he is forever associated with poisonous pinups.
Nice. That's
Or
awesome.
one of their models was a big hit of the convention because she showed up in a very nice gothic dress with her boobs out and pasties on.
Fantastic.
I approve.
So it was.
Proof where it didn't. Pictures where it didn't happen. The internet needs to find out.
Yes.
I don't know if there's pictures. There might be pictures around. I know I have Chris in the kilt pictures, but I'll have to look for the boobs.
I saw the Chris in the kilt picture earlier today. It kind of ruined my day.
And then somebody, I think
Man,
there
my
was a
penis
great
soft.
Scottish. The greatest thing that Scottish people ever did was tell people that aren't Scottish that when you wear a kilt, you need to do it without underwear on.
Oh, for the love of fucking Christ.
This
So
story,
he wore a kilt with no underwear.
this story is terrifying.
He's a smoker. He has to go outside to have a cigarette.
It was a little cold this weekend.
It was very cold this weekend.
There was some
It
shrinkage.
was an unseasonably cold April. He was shaking like a pocketbook chihuahua.
That's the greatest description I've ever heard.
I would have felt bad for him, but he did it to himself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, we have some late-breaking casting news. And in the other train wreck coming out later in 2015, the Fantastic Four, starring a lot of people that we don't think should be in the cast, they've cast the scientist who will become the villain in either this movie or the next movie. Apparently, Mole Man.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes. The guy playing him, his name is Tim Blake Nelson. If the name doesn't sound familiar,
Nope.
He actually was Dr. Samuel Stearns, the guy who would become the leader in the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
Okay.
All right.
So he's
I've
going
been waiting for them to bring him back into the Marvel world.
Yes.
He was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I just wrote his IMDb up.
Mm-hmm.
He was Hulk. He was the other brother in Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Okay. All right.
You definitely recognize him if you saw him. He's one of
Yeah,
those
he got that
guys
face.
that's been in a million things. All right, he's only got 60 credits here that I'm looking at, but he's got a good face for Mole Man.
That's
He's a
still
good
60
character
more
actor.
credits than I have, so
Yes.
True.
59, sir, you were on this show.
Yes. We are
True.
we are Y-list celebrities.
We are a show.
We are numbered celebrities. We're not even on the alphabet.
Yes.
Here's a teaser, and then we'll get back to Fantastic Four. I did this without getting anybody else's approval, but our show is officially at war with another show.
What did you
Oh
do?
no! What did you do?
There's a home and garden show called Undercover Cousins, where they will go to somebody's house, surprise them with a
sounds incestual.
remodel on their house.
This sounds like it's going to be brilliant.
Oh my god.
There was a knock on my door Monday. Ange had the day off. She answered the door, and it was a producer for the TV show. They wanted to know if they could film some interviews in our backyard because they were going to be remodeling one of our neighbors' houses.
Okay.
She called me to make sure everything was fine. I'm like, yeah, sure. Tell them they can film in the backyard. The only thing is, make sure nobody blocks the driveway if there's going to be a lot of trucks in and out. Okay. They start doing this stuff on Tuesday. I come home from work. There's 2 trucks parked in front of my driveway.
God damn it.
And they're filming something in my yard. Which was okay. I said they could film in my yard. But because the trucks are in my driveway and the cameras are rolling and there's the hosts, I start laying on my horn until the trucks are out of my way.
Fantastic.
And I said to somebody, hey, you guys told me you weren't going to put trucks in my driveway. There's trucks in my driveway. A little bit later, I'm going out to dinner.
Now this is a TV show?
This is a TV show. It's
Okay.
cousins. They're kitchen cousins and undercover cousins. They got like 3 different shows on HDN.
That sounds kind of dirty.
It
It's
does.
a-
I thought I had kissing cousins at first. I'm like, this ain't Game of Thrones.
Yeah, this is like incestual.
It's these 2 pretty boy douchebags
Oh, they're canoodling.
that one of them's a designer and one of them's a contractor. And they go around, they redo people's houses. They redo people's kitchens. They redo people's living, whatever they do. They
Mm-hmm.
do stuff. They're just essentially the hosts of the show because there is 87 crew members that were around really doing the work.
Okay.
You know, these guys start something and then they cut scene and people come in and redo the show.
Unlike Vanilla Ice, he does all his shit
Yes.
for real.
I never seen their show. I never heard of this show. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what they do. But they've come to my house. They've blocked my driveway.
Motherfuckers.
Me
This guy in his tortilla is dead.
Me and Diesel are on our way out to dinner. And there's a van blocking my driveway again.
Motherfuckers.
So I go. I ask to speak to somebody that's in charge. I get the producer. I say, hey, there's a truck in front of my driveway again. You guys said you weren't going to do this.
Did you
And
put
I'm
on the
getting
New
a
York
glad
Times
hand,
accent?
and I'm getting a, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry, I apologize. All right. So I do my little bit of running around. I'm going to go have dinner with the family. I had gotten the kids stuff for Easter, my niece and nephew. I forgot it at the house. I got to run back to the house real quick. Pull up to the house. Van's in the driveway again.
God damn it.
Block in the driveway. So I honk the horn, and I get the 1 minute finger from a guy.
Oh, I didn't give you the 1 minute finger.
So then I lay on the horn, and then I get the shrug, hands up in the air, what the fuck motion from another guy. So that was it. Then it was on. I get out of the car, and I go, "Are you fucking with me?" And he's like, "No." And then one guy's like, "Hey, man, you don't got to honk your horn. You could just ask us, and we'll move the stuff." I'm like, "I've asked 3 fucking times." So now and the guy who gave me the what the fuck.
Did you tell him we have a show that has 5 listeners?
Yes. I'm a personality. Well, the guy that gave me that gave me the attitude look, when I got out of the car and started walking towards him, ran away.
Oh.
Fantastic.
So now I am at a whole crew of a TV show.
Shit. So the moral of the story is the Ninjaverse.
Okay, when I came home from work, there were cones sectioning off my driveway to make sure nobody parked there.
Fantastic.
But still, fuck these guys. I don't like reality shows to begin with. I've talked about that here.
Yep.
I don't like Survivor. I
Nope.
don't like The Voice. I don't like American Idol. I don't like any of these shows.
I do like MasterChef. That's the only one I do like.
I don't like, the competitions, the game shows. I'm going to say I don't like any of them, but honestly, there are 1 or 2 that I like. That new Jim Henson Creature Shop thing is
That's
kind of
fun.
You at least gotta
On
watch
the-
Hell's Kitchen.
On the WWE Network on Thursday nights, Legends House.
Legends
I haven't seen it yet.
Great watch.
I had a brief
like
appearance
Orlov.
on Comic Book Men. So even though I do not like most reality shows, we all have been involved with a little bit of it. But as a guy who works construction as a day job, I don't make my living off this podcast yet. Yet. We're working on it.
Big things.
But
my
to
friend.
see some of these construction, renovation reality shows, it's like a minstrel show to me. It is guys mocking what me and other people do for a living
I got you.
and containing it in this little show that in 45 minutes you can redo a house.
Wait, you can't redo a house in 45 minutes?
Apparently, an hour with commercials.
Let's be at least a little realistic.
Terrible.
So, I have sent, I have tweeted cast members of Undercover Cousins.
Go ahead, plug your Twitter again.
Mike Z does tweet
There you go.
after years of not tweeting.
Yes. That's why I have to order new birthday cards.
The concept behind this show is, and I don't begrudge my neighbor a thing. Apparently, she does a lot of work for the community. That's why she was nominated to get her house redone on this show. She's a good person. Good for her. She won something that she deserved. But because somebody gets something for kindness doesn't mean that arrogance and inconsideration should be shown to me because I'm not on their TV show.
I got you.
You might be on the TV show.
You might be. Maybe they'll have a,
It would have been fantastic television.
you'll be on the outtake reel.
Me screaming and losing my mind in the street.
I could just see it too. Like they're actually doing the piece, and as soon as like the horn clips, it goes right to commercial. And then as it comes back, the guy's got a black eye, and the horn's off, and the cones are right on
the driveway.
I told my brother I was like this close to going Roddy Piper on Adrian Adonis's flower shop all over them.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Like just coming in with a baseball bat and a limp and take.
You should be a bad neighbor and like wait till they're doing a wide shot and like start pissing between the fence.
Yes. Drive my truck on the lawn. Well, I don't want to fuck with my neighbor. This is not my neighbor's fault.
It's terrible. Slash
Well,
tires.
No, then they'll never leave.
Oh,
They'll
true.
just be there
So
for.
what was the name of this show?
Undercover Cousins.
Undercover Cousins. You hear that, everybody? Undercover Cousins. Let's let them
That sounds like
hear
the
from
dirtiest show in the world.
It really sounds incestual.
It really does.
It's like we're secret cousins.
It's like Cruel Intentions.
This is where we put our listeners to work.
Yes, all 5 of you.
All 5 of you in Ireland.
Yes.
We have more than 5.
I know. We have 10.
Apparently, I've been getting a bunch of Twitter followers. All the whole MLG scenes like following me on Twitter.
Hi, COD MLG players.
Yes, hi, and I will start tweeting and following you guys and watching your YouTube shows.
And I think this little, if we're going to war with any show, a reality show is perfect. Because one of the things that we've done, like when we were out at the convention and getting the interviews, we were talking with people that were creating stuff. People that were making movies, people that were making art, people that were creating, and not just filming people do a job.
Yeah. I think we just have a new idea for a Ninjaverse reality show, though.
Yes. We're not doing a reality show. We'll do a documentary about how reality shows suck.
There you go. All right.
They've hurt creative people.
Let's move on to the segment we call things that are going to hurt Will's wallet.
Well, hold on.
When do we start dividing up the show?
I'm sorry I got on my real reality show rant. I did have a point I wanted to make about that
Go ahead.
4 movie and the casting.
Oh, wow, that's how we got there from Fantastic.
That's how we got there.
That was a long, windy road.
It was. It really. We off-roaded a lot. For me
Is it going to pay off?
It might. Because we talked about the Fantastic Four casting and the disappointment that some people have had with the casting. You know, they were talking about a female Doctor Doom. They were They said no blue suits.
Actually.
What was that?
I can kind of get behind the female Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Mistress Doom.
If it's Doom Kitty, we can. You know.
They're talking about no blue suits for the Fantastic Four.
Okay, now.
Well, they're wearing white suits now in the comic, aren't they?
Yeah, the Fantastic Foundation, I think.
But before you start going on outrage on that, the X-Men never wore any of their bullshit suits either.
I thought about that too. I'm like, I accepted the X-Men suits, but that was in that point when they were still changing comic book movies. The Marvel movies proved that you could do a lot of what people were going to accept stuff from the comic book, that you didn't have to take them out of the outfits.
Like in First Class, they're wearing the classic X-Men costumes.
Yeah. But on the vice versa to that, Hawkeye does nothing.
Actually,
like
Hawkeye was in his ultimate costume.
All right, argue with that. I understand now.
And some of the pictures that they've shown for the Hawkeye in Avengers 2, his jacket looks a lot more like the thing that he wore, his original Avengers costume.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Electro?
Electro
is like Ultimate Electro.
Yeah, it's Ultimate Electro.
And Rhino?
We're not going to talk about Rhino right now.
But you're morphing Spider-Man Electro.
The Dragon Zord.
Yes.
Still a more convincing Transformer than Michael Bay has put on.
It's true, but I'm picking apart the comic book movie just on the costumes alone. I think is very, very minimal and minor. If they were tearing apart the whole world of it, then that's where I start becoming outraged. I.e., the Turtles.
I could live with a costume change as long as the majority of the source material is there.
Yeah, if they have the patch on there, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. If they want to put them in more of a tactical outfit and it still has some version of the Fantastic Four patch, I'll accept it. Even if they don't necessarily have it right away, because the initial Fantastic Four costumes were just like a spacesuit thing that they eventually added the patch to.
Yeah, and they even did that in the movie eventually.
If this is a reboot, I'll take the movie of them not having the Fantastic Four logo until the last fight scene.
Yeah.
You know, or the
like
credits.
right before credits, yeah.
Yeah, the before credits. Hey, we
got a new suit.
We got to come up with a logo.
And now we're going to recast.
What I talk about is some of the casting. And we talked about Human Torch and Michael B. Jordan. And I realized something. And I realized the inherent racism in Hollywood that doesn't get talked about. Because people kind of got all pukey about, you're going to make a black guy
Kingpin.
Human Torch.
No.
And then people are saying...
Let's go further back and Will Smith and Wild Wild West.
Oh, we talked about that. Yeah, we covered that. There was a lot. Will Smith, every character that Will Smith ever played in any movie with the source material was a white guy, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wild Wild West, Men in Black.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, well, not Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was originally a sword.
He got that off his Windows 8.
I was about to say, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was not a poor Jewish kid in Philadelphia.
It was.
Born and raised.
It was a Charlie Chaplin piece. I Am Legend was the other one that Will Smith did. That was
Big old Hitler mustache.
the thing that I realized that they did, and they're kind of getting away with it, nobody's talking about, is they made Johnny Storm a black guy, and they kept Susan Storm a white blonde chick.
Yeah, I think that's
Because
more of the...
They don't want to have a lead female black character in the superhero movie.
Yeah, I think that's more of my issue. I think with it too.
Yeah,
I
but you
guess.
have Halle Berry as Storm.
Well, you have Halle Berry as Storm, who's supposed to be from Africa. Halle Berry's half black. Halle Berry's mother... Halle Berry is essentially whiter than all of us. Her mother is so white.
True.
My dad is Irish, by the way.
I'm not going there. Somebody just got an NBA team taken away from him for.
Yeah.
Halle Berry's mom is really great.
I don't want to get banned from the podcast.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I thought about it, and I wouldn't have if you're gonna cast somebody, you're gonna cast somebody. But if you're gonna cast brother and sister, why?
I think that's where that's the break. They're not brother and sister in it.
No,
Yeah.
they are. They said they are.
So what, did he just get burnt? Did they cast him white and then...
Oh, you're banned.
Did he start that way? Is that what they're?
He had a really
white guy
bad
at the end
tan.
of the movie, and then after he gets the Human Torch powers, he's a black guy.
It's going to be either...
Because I don't see that going over.
I can hear the podcast commissioner on the phone right now.
It's going to be either like foster brother and sister or step brother and sister or something.
Yeah, but you're horseshoeing that in instead of just casting a black woman as the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so this came up eons ago. I'm strewing it from this a little bit. You remember when Spider-Man changed over to be, what was it? Who was he?
Miles
Hispanic?
Morales? Yeah. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay. How did you guys rate on that? Despite
Honestly,
the story...
I like the Ultimate Universe, but I don't care about the changes because they've made enough changes in the Ultimate Universe in general that they want it to be unexpected.
Despite all that,
It was a publicity stunt.
when you saw that headline, did you guys become outraged, or did you guys were like, okay, I could get behind it a little bit?
I didn't. It didn't. I actually.
I didn't really. I don't want to say it didn't. Like I didn't care. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
But again, I've never really read the Ultimate stuff, so I don't.
Yeah, because that's where I sit with you too on that.
I don't have the attachment to, and this is, we've talked about this, and a lot of this is the argument that a lot of people have is don't fuck so much with the source material, and that's a lot of the argument that they're using. Put Mego Spidey down.
Well, because I go to that because he's got sleeves.
Who's got sleeves? Mego Spidey?
Look, Michael Spidey. Let's go to the high on the camera. Hello.
Yes, he does.
And he has a hole in his toe from a little kid.
So anyway, what I'm asking about this is that even eons ago when Donald Glover was on top of it, and people said, why don't you put him in Spider-Man, as when they were doing reboot of Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. So how would you guys feel if that was actually a real thing? If they casted a black character?
I just saw a headline in an article on the internet that Andrew Garfield talked about that he'd be willing to step down if they were going to replace him with that Spider-Man.
Yeah,
because Webb's not going to be a part of 4, was it?
No, he's signed through 3.
Yeah, he's signed for 3. He's not a part of 4. At least he has not signed for 4.
I don't have a problem with it as long as it makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. If it's where this they're just deviating. To me, it's just they're deviating from the source material just because.
Well, just to give you, I mean, I know we were talking about the Ultimate Universe, it's all weird or whatever. Just to give you guys a little window of what the Ultimate Universe is, when Gwen Stacy in the Ultimate Universe died, she became Carnage.
And again, I don't
So
I
it's
don't
like,
read Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
I dabbled in Ultimate Universe for a couple issues of something.
I kind of gave up
And-
on the Ultimate Universe when they tried so hard to be so different.
the only Ultimate book I liked was The Ultimates, which is basically Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's nerd off this. The New 52 or the Ultimate?
New.
Marvel Now.
Serenity Now. I don't know, man.
I'm not happy with necessarily any of it. I'll go back and read old issues.
Yeah.
I'll go buy a collected edition from the 70s and reread that stuff.
Okay.
I think with a lot of, the reboot, and I know you got to do that every couple of years with the series. And comic books have been, the initial run of comic books, you had all white characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened because it happened.
Time and place.
Time and place. It might not have been right, but I'm not gonna get mad. People get mad at it.
So
But I feel
this is a weird spiral.
Trying to adjust in the late '60s and early '70s, they did start to create black characters. They did start to create ethnic characters.
Falcon.
Well, Falcon.
I know one Asian.
Mandarin.
Yes, yeah.
Jubilee.
Jackie Chan.
Oh wait, there was Sunfire.
So I was gonna say Sunfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunfire, Jubilee.
Silver Samurai.
That's
who was
racist.
Who was the Bruce Lee character guy in Marvel Universe?
Iron Fist.
That's
Iron
racist.
Fist was the blonde. I say even if they made a karate guy, but they still made him a blue-eyed, blonde-haired guy.
Oh.
For
Slapstick.
you, Stan Lee really had a lot of blue-haired, blonde-eyed Hitler youth characters in his comic books.
Blue hair, blonde eyed. I think he said though. Just.
Hey, I'm drinking beer.
No, that's
you know what I meant.
that works. It's in the Marvel universe. There are blue hair, blonde eyed people.
Yes.
It does.
It's like a Polaris comic that just ran out of green ink.
Speaking of Polaris, hold on. Speaking of Polaris, they have said in Days of Future Past, the new X-Men movie, Quicksilver. They reference Scarlet Witch, but she's not in the movie. But her little sister is, who is Polaris.
Is Lorna Dane?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like in the scene with Quicksilver and his little sister, and his little sister is Polaris, but they're not. She doesn't have powers yet because she's still like 9 years old in the movie. But yeah, because there's a line like "Go upstairs and bother your sister" or something, and that's it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but that Quicksilver's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
And that Hardy's and Carl's.
still benefit of the doubt. It's hard for me now to say the sentence, I'm going to give Bryan Singer the benefit of the doubt.
That is the words that I am struggling to construct in one sentence right now, because that 1 2-minute clip of the beginning of the movie was 2/3 of the commercial that we saw,
Yeah,
and everything else makes me sad.
It looked badass.
Yeah, it did, but that's it. You popped your load in the first 2 minutes.
Listen to me. It has Iceman on an ice slide. I've wanted to see that since the first X-Men movie.
Shut up, Windows 8.
They have my money.
Hey, I've been happy with a lot of things that Bryan Singer did. I even liked the Superman movie that everybody hated.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
But,
I didn't hate it.
I mean, my kind of giving Bryan Singer the benefit of the doubt thing is that whole sexual assault charges.
That's a whole nother topic we're not going to touch.
Yeah, he didn't get the benefit of the doubt.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. It's just creepy and weird on it. Oh, it's beyond creepy and weird.
Yeah.
True.
Hollywood is fucked up.
Yeah.
Can't get a black invisible woman. and directors is raping little kids and stuff.
All right. We're not talking about it.
It happens.
And people are like parking in your driveway.
TV shows parking in my driveway. Hi, but
When you said-
I just want to watch superhero movies. and
When you
superhero
said
TV shows.
When you
You
said
know
a
a really good
black
superhero
invisible
movie?
woman, I automatically could continue to think that black invisible, that's just a shadow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's all wrong, Janelle. Why did you even think of that?
Well, that was one of the things. When comics
We're done.
We're so fucked.
when comics
We just offended everybody again.
whatever. It's a joke.
I don't mean it to offend. That's how my brain crossed it up. I'm like, wait, that's just no, it's not. What is wrong with you?
Yeah. Going back to the Fantastic Four thing real quick and the Human Torch thing. I don't necessarily have a problem with the black Human Torch.
Me
My
neither.
issue again is the white Invisible Woman.
I don't have a problem with Human Torch because I know he's a good actor. Like he can act.
Yeah,
the fuck out of it.
I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
I just think that if you're gonna do it right. Go the whole way with it. Don't just commit. Yeah, commit to it. Don't
be scared to have a black woman in a lead role
Absolutely.
in an action comic book movie.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be good. But Marvel did confirm finally this week that their Netflix shows, the Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Jessica. What's the other one? I can't remember. Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, yeah.
That they are officially part of the cinematic universe.
Which is cool.
Yes, which means hopefully we'll see some crossover.
I'm
And
sure
we'll
we
see
will.
some crossover with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is getting really, really good in the last few episodes.
Which has had a lot of crossover stuff.
Yeah.
That Captain America movie really
Give that show a shot in the arm.
You Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
went in, everybody was kind of predicting a twist.
Yeah.
That, Josh Whedon wanting to throw in Joss.
Joss, you got it.
Joss. I have so much trouble with that. Just buy a fucking H&B Josh.
Josh. But what keeps the two S's?
Yes.
Josh.
Josh.
Josh Whedon. All right, anyway.
What is
Anyway.
gonna lisp now?
That's-
Hi, my name is Josh. He's got a speech impediment, poor guy. Made the Avengers.
they were setting it up in a couple different directions. I didn't quite, and they did surprise me. I was thinking, I wasn't biting where they were putting the bait,
Yeah.
but
You're trying to be
I
spoiler
thought
free.
they were going to go in another direction.
Yep.
And even the whole thing, tying it into the Captain America movie, pretty much seamlessly,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
It was that week. The movie came out on Friday. The show was changed on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That movie, and the show right now are pinnacle to understanding the story now.
Yes.
It is now. Well, I don't think so much of the story. I think the story is diverted now because of the movie. But for the movie universe, that movie is pinnacle for Phase 2.
It did what it needed to do. It made the show essential watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely tied it in very strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Because it created a universal villain.
Yeah.
It created a villain that,
Which they needed. They needed to get out of Flavor of the Week.
yeah.
Because that's the typical Joss Whedon formula. You got a villain of the week.
But
With an overarching villain, but...
they have Hydra there, but then they also released everybody out of the prison, so you can have a different villain of the week, monster of the week, X-Files style.
It's a nice Man Thing throwaway reference like an episode or two ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Gravitonium came back.
Yes.
There's a ton of direction and things that could go. You got they essentially released 2 seasons worth of story out there.
Yeah.
But what I do want to say too, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Captain America movie yet. I know Chris hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, we're going to talk about it.
But what I want to say first
Go ahead.
off is we criticize when we see one of these movies is going to have multiple villains in it.
Mm-hmm.
The Captain America movie did it right
Yep.
for having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
I'm trying to
villains.
think. Well, let's just count them off. We got Winter Soldier.
Right.
We got the big twist.
The-
Well, do you
Right.
want? Well, I'm trying to keep it clean for Chris. Chris, do you care?
I don't care.
All right. So you got Winter Soldier, Robert Redford.
Brack the Leaper.
Who the fuck was that?
At the beginning, George St. Pierre.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god, I forgot about him. The villain who will be Bone Crusher. Or Crossbones. I'm sorry, Crossbones.
I was about to say, it was like...
No, Crossbones.
Emile Zola.
Zola. Let's see, who else? I want to say there was more. Oh, technically, Sitwell.
Sitwell, yeah. I had
Which,
heard
oh
that.
my god, I was so upset. And Gary Shandling, you motherfucker. I was like, I knew it!
But Gary Shandling was such a douche in Iron Man that it made,
So, I mean, you're right there, he's technically 6'1".
and to bring Hydra into the fold like that, and to make Hydra cool.
Yeah.
That the internet blew up and like, oh, there's
Hail Hydra everywhere. I gotta say, because I had seen the Hail Hydra stuff before, because I just saw Captain America over the weekend. I had seen the Hail Hydra stuff. I really thought that Whisper Hail Hydra, I had a different scene in my mind than what played out on the screen. I didn't expect it of Gary Shandling to Sitwell. I was actually expecting it to be his neighbor to him. The hot chick neighbor?
Oh, Agent 13.
Yeah, I was expecting that to be the Hail Hydra moment. But it wasn't.
You know, one of the things, too, that they did, you know, I kind of picked it up. Agent 13 is the niece of the chick from the first Captain America movie.
Yes, that is her laying in the bed at that one scene, which, oh my god, that was a fucking heart-wrenching scene once you realize what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But all that was CG. I learned that on Fat Man on Batman. That wasn't like a mask on her. They CG'd her, but she had the gray wig. Like they had her.
That stuff now. It's like how they made Magneto and Professor X young for that X-Men movie that nobody liked.
Yeah, but that's probably one of the best. That's probably the best Marvel movie so far.
It was a different type of superhero movie. You know, somebody talked about it being a political intrigue movie.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a Patriot Games or that type of a political spy thriller, but people were in superhero costumes.
Yeah.
What I liked about it is the movie was mentally moving as well as action moving. They were on two different fronts. It kept you entertained. You want to know about the story, and here's some explosions.
Winter Soldier.
Some more story and a shield.
Dude, his shield has so much screen time. It should have had a title card. His shield should have had a title card because motherfucker, he was like watching Ultimate Alliance. Because when me and Prototype play Ultimate Alliance, I would be Captain America. I would throw his shield into a room. It would clear out the enemies before we got there. I do that shit in Marvel Heroes right now.
Yeah. Captain America's shield is a cool weapon in the video games. I have played Marvel Alliance, and you can whip around and hit 12 dudes with it.
I don't know how much that game's going for right now.
A lot.
Yeah, the golden editions with all the DLC to it is going upwards of $100.
Yeah, because you can't find it anymore, and the DLC's been pulled from the store.
Yup.
So, yeah. But no, Winter Soldier was excellent. But here's my question, okay? You have the mid-credit scene, okay? Where they show off for the first time Marvel Universe Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And they're in a shield base somewhere. I want to say it's in Africa because I think that's where it's going to start with Age of Ultron. And Baron Strucker was apparently working with S.H.I.E.L.D. as Hydra. Doesn't anybody notice the fucking evil-looking dude with the monocle and the German accent is Hydra? Just, come on. With the last thing,
I mean, Zola was a Nazi.
Yeah. Dude, that was such a cool scene.
It was a very cool scene. And the thing is, that's based in reality that America and Russia essentially had a draft day where they split up the Nazi scientists after World War II to see who got who, and that's how we made it to the moon. Yeah. A lot of those guys that developed the rockets to go to the moon were Nazis building rockets to kill Jews.
Hydras everywhere.
People of all ethnicities that weren't German.
Yes.
So they made that movie as realistic as possible. I also like that Zola, who had his brain transferred into a computer in the mid-'70s, it was all on tape in a giant room that had to be.
It was great.
My brain really had to stretch to keep that one in.
No, that one made perfect sense to me.
For Zola, who is such a weird character, and I have no, Zola being in the first movie, I'm like, That was a cool homage. And then the way that they were able to bring him back and make it as similar to the comic book movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if Zola shows up in a third Captain America movie with the actual Zola bodysuit, battle suit, whatever he wore and walked around in.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
They did a lot with that movie. They made it work. They made Falcon.
I was so happy.
He was going to be in a movie. I always liked the character of Falcon, but felt that it translated poorly into. I never thought he worked out that well in the cartoons.
Yeah.
Even. But I enjoyed him in the comic books. And they made it work. And they made it believable.
He was a badass.
In that context of that world. And they made him just work as a character. And they didn't. It wasn't condescending. He wasn't a shucking and jiving black guy.
Nope.
He was a soldier.
He was a military soldier. That was the great thing about him. He was represented really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did him and it was a guy who was dealing with
PTSD.
Yeah. And the horrors of that. And it was a homage to real, the real people.
Yeah.
And it kept it real, which is strong, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. Overall, like I said, probably my favorite Marvel movie next to Avengers.
On your left.
Yeah, and it brought us On Your Left, and it brought us Hail Hydra.
I did On Your Left to somebody the other day, and they didn't get it. And I was like, whatever. Better movie.
You like your Hydra. Then you pushed him in the river. All right, but we're going a little long. I think we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, we do, because I got to get up early.
Okay.
Me too. I gotta get
the last thing I want to talk about real quick, just because you two don't care about it, and you over there don't care about it, but I care about it.
Then why are we talking about it? If 3 out of the 4 of us don't care about it,
because we
shouldn't talk about it.
All right, real quick. They officially unveiled Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes Editions coming out this fall.
How did I know you were going to go to that?
I had to, dude. Oh my god, I watched the press conference at work. I had to.
You've been working?
No, there was nobody in the store. It was cool.
I wish I had your job.
It's forward compatible, or it's gonna be on current gen systems and next gen systems, or last gen systems and current gen systems, depending on how you want to look at it. The starter set's gonna be Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk. The figures, you'll be able to play them in the new game, and my wallet cried visibly when I saw the video because it looks awesome. So that's all I wanted to say. Plus, we were talking about Marvel, so me.
I honestly tweeted this earlier. I'm kind of looking into being interested in this. The only reason why I'm saying almost no, because it's a kids Disney game. I don't have children, so this doesn't warrant me to buy action figures like that.
But they look cool on your desk.
No, Ninja, I got enough shit behind me. Look behind me. I got enough stuff here.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh, you can barely see all that stuff.
I'm at the advantage of I have a nephew that loves all this stuff, so I can buy it for him.
And I can buy it for myself.
Yeah, and you can play it vicariously through him.
Exactly.
I FaceTimed the kids while the press conference was going on so they could watch the trailer. They love Disney Infinity. So, anyway. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. And also, I don't know if Chris got to watch the video of me eating my delicious burger from PAX.
I did.
You did?
It will be up on the YouTube channel. In
Yes.
a day or so.
We actually didn't talk about it on our PAX show a couple weeks ago, but I actually found a better version of the Luther burger because in all my life I wanted to eat the Luther once, which for those of you who don't know, two Krispy Kreme donuts with a cheeseburger and bacon in the middle.
And why is it called the Luther Burger?
Because Luther Vandross used to eat them, and that's why he died.
And that's
That's not a Luther. That's not a Luther.
I thought it was Luther.
No. I'm gonna Google up the Luther right now. That's
Right,
not a
Luther.
Luther.
Well, all right. So what I had was a better version of Luther. It was 2 Krispy Kreme donuts with cheeseburger in the middle, but on top of the cheeseburger, in between the donut, was a grilled cheese and bacon sandwich. I regret nothing. Fucking thing was delicious. And Prototype had a corn dog.
I have diarrhea just from listening.
No, I was fine. And Prototype had a corn dog that you could use as a baseball bat.
Yeah, it was literally a corn dog wrapped in bacon and then deep fried.
Nice.
Fucking delicious.
But I
I'm
got
gonna be a little
2/3.
creative with this video of Will and the sandwich. So
He's gonna replace the sandwich with a penis.
I want hearts around the sandwich when I'm eating.
Okay,
go
so
ahead. Find the
the Luther is a deep fried Krispy Kreme donut wrapped around a black Angus all beef patty, melted cheese, and 2 strips of bacon.
Close enough.
The burger is approximately 800 to 1,500 calories a piece.
And every bit of it's delicious. But
on that note,
I didn't gain any weight when I was in Boston. So
And it's a 1/4 pound.
yeah, because I could just imagine this burger fired out of your ass the next morning.
I think I was bound.
You know what? You know what sucked about that? Our fucking
With the fact that
hotel-
it's true, right? Yeah, well,
Our hotel had a shit for a fan. No. It didn't even have a fan. It was just a poor child in a vent trying to suck in fumes. It had no switch for a fan.
It didn't.
So like,
We'd go to the
would you-
bathroom and leave the room.
yeah,
You know what the best thing
you
to
only
do?
had one opportunity to blow up that bathroom was in the morning because we were gone for 12 hours.
Yes.
When you're sharing a room with your buddies like that, and you blow up the bathroom, and they have like, it's usually like beach hotels that have this. Sometimes hotels with a pool, they have that heating light for like drying your clothes.
Yeah.
After you take the giant, massive dump, you turn the heating light on, close the door.
I did that as a kid who was like thinking that's the fan. Man, I got my ass beat for that shit.
All right. And on that note, with that helpful tip to prank all your friends this summer, I think we're going to call it a night.
I think so.
All right. You know where to find us, ninjaverse.wordpress.com. Our new YouTube page, youtube.com/the Ninjaverse, which has new content going up, we'll say every other day.
Yeah, I was doing pretty good with the interviews every day, but the past 2 days have been a little busy.
Yeah, so we got some stuff up. This will be on there now. It's not going to be on my personal Half-Ass Ninja channel anymore. Check me out on twitch.tv/halfassninja, ninjaverse.wordpress.com, Twitters, all kinds of shit. So, I'm Will.
I'm Chris.
Mike.
I'm JD.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, hybrid.